Well,
I want to know. That's what I credit. What
so you know, I think she's. But I mean, no, I mean, she does. She's a very good woman.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed, you know, when you watch I am
Okay, we might as well get started. A little after 7. Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. After 6, excuse me. Thank you. My name is Steve Seaman. I'll be moderating tonight's listening session. So far, Lori has been holding listening sessions around the 13th District. She's been to Beaver Dam, Columbus, Cambridge, Lake Mills, Waterloo, Watertown. Of course, we're here tonight, and then we'll be Horicon on Thursday. Okay. In speaking with Lori, I know her goal is to hear from all of you. She wants to know what your ideas are, what your concerns are, and if she's elected, she wants to know what your ideas are for what ought to be addressed if she's in office. So that's our goal tonight, is to try and get as many ideas as we can to her about what you'd like to see happen when she's in office. So I'd just like to say a couple words about how we're going to structure the meeting here tonight. I'm going to be taking the sheets that people have turned in and using those. What I'll do is call on people and hopefully I'll pronounce your name right. If not, please correct me. If you don't want to comment, just say, I just want her to have the sheet, but hopefully you'll be able to stand up and then let us know what your concerns are. If you have a comment, if you have ideas, if you have suggestions for what you'd like her to be doing or issues that you want to address when she's in office, please let us know what you're thinking about that. At the same time, I don't, we want people to be concise and to the point. We don't want lengthy lectures, but let us know what your concerns are. I'm always a big fan of free flow of ideas and a debate, but that's not what this forum is. Okay, we're here to try to get information to Lori about what ideas are, everybody's ideas are, and try and hear from as many people as possible. So certainly I would encourage people, when this is all done tonight, to go out, have coffee, have a beer, particularly find somebody you disagree with and go have a beer with them and talk about whatever you're thinking about. I think that's great, but here we're trying to get information to her rather than have people talking back and forth. Now, if you haven't filled out a sheet, okay, please feel free to go back. There are more back there. So if something comes to you, as things are coming up and you feel like you want to comment, feel free to go back there and get a sheet, okay? I'm also going to ask you to hold off on applauding or showing positive or negative comments or feelings about other people's comments for a couple of reasons. First of all, I don't want this to be, a popularity contest one way or the other. I want people to feel like whatever their viewpoint, that this is a safe place to talk about whatever it is, and that they're going to be respected for whatever they say. Having said that, I'm going to do my best to be respectful if I enforce the rules here. I apologize right now if you feel disrespected. If I say, look, I'm going to have to bring you back to the point, or sorry, that's really not what we're trying to do here. I will try to be respectful. If you feel disrespected, I apologize. So, Lori.
Hey, everybody.
Do you want to go through them, or do you want to?
Yeah, I'll just say a few words to get started.
Okay.
I'm Lori Compas, as you probably know. It's good to be at home. I don't have to drive for an hour, so it's also kind of strange being up here in a suit. Those of you who know me well know that on a day like this, I'm usually like in shorts and flip-flops out in the yard, you know, dirt under my fingernails out in the garden. So it's kind of strange to feel like I've transformed, but you know, I'm still the same person inside. I just wanted to start out by giving you a little bit of an update on how things are going with the recall process. That's usually the first question that people have is there actually going to be an election or something like that? So I'm not sure if you heard that the Government Accountability Board has recommended that the election be certified. So that looks like it's going forward. They've asked for an extension for the governor's certification, and they're going to kind of stall the senator's elections as well because they want to hold all of them on the same day. So at this point, the best guess is that there will probably be a primary, and that will be in early May, and the general election would be in early June then. Now there's a chance that there will not be a primary, in which case the general election would be in early May. I kind of wish that we could just have the election and be done with it because it would be cheaper for the state and you know just all around quicker, and it would be more decisive and we would just know right away. But I'm at this point fully expecting that a fake Democrat will be recruited and running against me.
Sure.
So that's where we stand with that. Does anybody have any questions?
Just gonna ask everybody not to.
Oh, that's okay.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I'm gonna force
It's not easy. So, yeah, any questions about the recall process, the election certification, anything like that? Okay, great. So you wanna?
Okay, first one is Cheryl Lemke.
My question was, I'd like to promote jobs in my small town that have to drive for everything while we're shopping, and small business would be good. Thanks.
Shall I comment on that a little bit? I'm a small business owner, as probably a lot of you know. I'm a freelance writer and photographer. And a couple of years ago, I kind of came to the point where I had more work than I could handle by myself, and I wanted to hire an employee on. And I felt like I had two choices. I could hire someone part-time, and they would just work for me when they could, or I could invest more and take on a full-time employee. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that if I hired someone part-time, I would probably invest a lot in training them up and getting them to where I felt like I could really trust them. And when they got to that point, if they were just part-time, they would probably leave and become my competition. Especially in photography, you know, it's kind of a competitive field. So I decided that the best thing to do would be to hire someone full-time. But when I started looking into that more, it was just too much of a hurdle to have to pay for their health care. I was just uneasy about all of that. It just seemed like such a huge responsibility that I didn't feel like I could take it on. So I still wanted to grow my business, so I just simply raised my prices. And that way I was taking on the same amount of work, but I was making more money. But it didn't create any jobs. And so what I'm hoping to do is help small businesses like mine figure out how to make that leap from just one employee who's working maybe part-time or as a kind of a side job to someone who actually feel capable and comfortable employing other people. So I think healthcare is a huge part of that, and I've been hearing that a lot, is that small businesses would feel more confident in growing if healthcare was taken care of some other way, like if they could buy into a pool or something like that. So thanks for your comment. If anybody else has any ideas about job promotion, let me know. On these sheets, there is a place here that says I'm interested in working with others in my community. I'd like to share my expertise in the following areas. So you could circle like business and economic development and put your contact info on there and turn it in. And what I'm hoping to do is build teams around these different topic areas like transportation, healthcare, economic development, because I feel like there's so much knowledge out there. I learned that during the petition drive, just kind of going door to door and talking to people and just realizing, wow, there are brilliant people out here who know so much about these different things. Let's try and tap into some of that and inform my candidacy and, you know, hopefully eventually my senatorship. So.